Paula was just an amazing lady. I mean, she had great muscle, great skills. She was a great poser. She was very proud of also being a black woman. You know, this is just a classic look. If you look at it, the women what is big. You know, you can see that didn't have a lot of the muscle density they have today. But this was, this was the level because, like every other generation, the women change, they evolve, they get more denser. The training practices, the use of certain you know enhancement drugs, be it PED, steroids, whatever, and she was just a legend. I mean, I know she kept competing good part of the '90s, and just she's still seen as one of the groundbreakers of the sport. She's still a lovely lady. I think I believe she's got to be in her, if not her mid 70s now. I mean, just I would love to do an interview with her. I know she's not too much on social media. A lot of these ladies are very private, but she just was a lady that really brought certain levels. Here she is with Tony Parsons. Her and Tony Parsons was mixed pairs posing. Yeah, that's what very popular back then. You don't do too much now. They don't do a lot of the mixed pairs anymore. It's mostly I think it's very popular still in Europe. But she had a great look to her. And also, as I said earlier, here she is. And that's with Elizabeth Bradshaw. We haven't seen Elizabeth Bradshaw in quite some time. This I believe maybe back in 2019 when they were announcing the return of women's bodybuilding to the Olympia, maybe because she attended that with a bunch of other ladies. The only person that wasn't there was Corey Everson because Corey didn't want to take part in it. Not Corey, no, Richard Lesh. And here she is. And this was from the 1984 Pumping Irons. I saw the video. Her, you had Rich McLesh, you had Marjorie Celine. She was a very attractive lady. She was from Denmark. I think it was Denmark, or was it? Yeah, Denmark. I think Denmark or Finland. And this was the level of his bodybuilding. But like any sport, it has evolved over time. The look, the muscle, the density, it's changed. And that's the thing about it. It's about adapting to the new order, and each woman's going to be not the same as the other. We have some comments here. Shout out to my man here, KL. He says, Hershey muscle kisses. Also, he says, Tracy Gillespie. I think I remember her. I'll see if I can pull up something I can find about her. Also, he says this. He says, I guess one of these days you should do a discussion on Pumping Iron 2 since you like to reference it or talk about a lot about it. Well, we can probably do that one of these days because you know what? It was the documentary that really brought attention for women's bodybuilding. I didn't see Pumping Iron too much later because sometimes you show it on television now and then. Pumping Iron and Pumping Iron 2. Because most time, most time you see it was like on cable. Not too often on regular television. They did have to show it someplace like, maybe like late in the night or something like that, or but I remember seeing Pumping Iron a few times. Pumping Iron 2, yeah, I remember seeing and watching it. I think was it when I first started Pumping Iron? I think it was on Cinemax, HBO, or was it on a regular network television? I'm trying to remember. It's been a long time. It says, how come you don't hear too much about her? That's the thing with them. Also, they become a mystery, but I don't know. That's how it is. Let me say he's not very social media into it. But he did drop a name, and I think if we can find her, let me see if I can pull her up. If there's anything about Tracy, she hasn't been in the game too long. I think she competed as a pro for a bit. If I can find her, let's see. Because I'm on the sites. If you know the site, it's Muscle, Girls with Muscle, and there's a little. I would call it controversy. There's no real controversy. It's just a bunch of people who's kind of, and I think many of our female bodybuilders, we just kind of have an issue with the site because it's a site which it's has female bodybuilders and a lot of it is free. It's not. He did not, um, you know, buying or selling the image, but they think it is. And the thing is, it's pretty much, you might call it a fan share site. It's sharing pictures, commenting, and not all of it are female bodybuilders. Many of the women who work out and train, a lot of them are models. And I did a video where I talked about how some are just a lot of like celebs sometimes. But let's see if I can find something of her, if she's on here somewhere. Yeah, let's see. I don't know, Kale. It's hard to find anything on Tracy. Okay, I think I found some pictures because, like I said, she was one. She was really one of those big superstars, But she had a great look to a great physique to her. I think I found something here, and I just did a little Google reference. All righty, and I think you might like this because I did Google her and I found her, Tracy Gillespie. And, I think she competed a good part of the 80s and the 90s. I don't think she ever turned pro that I can think of. She had a great look to her, very feminine, nice shape. You can go to, I think, Women's Physique World Magazine downloads. You can go to that site and probably find some of the pictures and stuff like that. She had a look that's very popular back then. Nice muscle, good development. This is another type of evolution. How you can see this picture here, her quads. You see the more feather in her quads. You see the more her abs are more well defined. You can look at her shoulders. She's this is like I said, another evolution of women's bodybuilding over time. And also this here, there is a video on her. If you want to look at it, it's on YouTube. You can go to female bodybuilder. You put up and search for Tracy Gillespie, and I think I might have misspelled her name. No, it's right. I spelled it right. Yes, but I don't think Muscle Girls carry her. So she's an attractive lady, great shape. Another lady I met back in the day that I was a fan of, and she was one of the I think one of the early pioneers also for women bodybuilders. You don't get as much to talk about is Laura Craval. I think she was just amazing. She had a great look to her. She was originally from was it from the islands of Ghana, something like that. And she competed a good part of the 80s to the 90s. She could break, came back 2000, and just wasn't it's the same like she was back in the day. But she did compete alongside some of the top women in the sport, from Linda Murray to Corey Everson to even I think she competed alongside Carla Dunlap and Bev Francis and them. And I know a while back she was married before. She was married to her first husband, Chris Cito. They broke up, and then I think she got remarried later on. I think she now is in the church. She does have Facebook. I think she has IG, but she's not too much on it. We got here my man Charles Offer coming through. He says, "What's up, bro? Not much, bro. How you doing?" And also he says this. He says, "Laura Craval, yes, sir. Yes. I think she had a great look to her. This is from great lines, great femininity to her. I was a fan of Laura Craval. Again, she came up in the good part of the 80s. Right here, there she is. She's between Sandra Riddell, and also that's Elva Mars. And Elva Mars was also a lady who was like very amazing. Sandra Riddell was like, her and Corey were like the dominant blonde goddesses of the 80s. And, Laura just had a great look to her, great physique, great smile. She had an amazing body. She was like a top level. She's like one of those ladies I would say, she was close to the title a couple of times, but it just never happened for her. This is a video from, I think back in, I think it's one of the, it was Miss, I think this is Miss Olympia back in, I think think it's 92, maybe 91. And she just had a great look to her. Look at her, her pose was pretty good. Her body was amazing. If anybody is a blueprint of this woman today, I'm trying to think of. This is honestly, if you look at it now, she would do very well in women's physique. She has that great development. I think this is what the criteria should be now for women's physique, to get away from, getting massive. But that's great athletic build to her. We got here, somebody just popped in. I just got one of my fellas here. We got him, my man, Josh Simpkins. He's in the building. Welcome, Josh.
How's it going? How's it going, Empire Nation?
Hey, how you doing, brother? How you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Yeah. Well, brother, we just started a bit. I know as we, I don't know if you remember Laura Craval from back in the day.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And she had a great physique, man. She'll do well in, like you said, in women's physique. That should be the criteria.
Yeah, she fits the criteria. She has a great look to her, very feminine, great lines.
Exactly.
She really
look at her abs.
Great set of abs. I think somebody. I'm trying to think of whose abs you would compare it to hers.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I would say Sharonda Hinton.
Yeah.
I think if anybody's close to the blueprint like Laura Craval.
Yeah, Sharonda Hinton. She'll be pretty close.
Yeah. And she's been close to Olympia a couple of times. She was amazing. Here. She gives a little. I think it was after a show, before the show.
Time you go out, you try to better your last performance.
Yes, a second.
Or your last look, and I think at last year's Miss Olympia, I looked good, and for the Miss International, the Arnold show, I looked better. And just if I can be a better Laura on stage, yes, I want to win. But if I beat Laura the last time out, then I've won. And I think that my package this show is even better than the last show. So I'm pretty confident. I think really when you get out there, it's your fans. I don't really read the magazines, but when you go out and travel all over the country and you have people saying that you're a great role model to them, that's what makes a difference. Everyone in life wants to stand for something. So when they die, they leave some sort of legacy. And I feel that bodybuilding is my gift that I have to share with other people. So I think really that's what keeps me going.
She's an amazing lady. I mean, she is, I would say, a legacy competitor. I mean, over the years, her look has evolved. I remember when she had the the curly hair.
Yeah, the big hair days. Who remembers that?
And also, she just had a great look to her. Just overall, this is where I think we, as especially what bodybuilding wants to see more women in bodybuilding, something like Laura. Here she is.
Yeah.
Geraldo was her. I think it looked like, who's the other lady? I think that was it Iris Kyle? I think, if I remember. He's in the Geraldo
show. Geraldo show. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, Geraldo was the guy who really gave women bodybuilders opportunities.
I mean, him, Jenny Jones, who else? Montel Williams really put female bodybuilding on.
Yeah, I mean,
Can we go back to those days, please?
Well, talk shows not like it used to be.
Yeah.
Jerry's dead, Maury's retired.
Yeah.
Jones, she's not. She's the one to do talk shows anymore because they.
Yeah.
They did. I think
that little snafu that she didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, that was, to me, that wasn't really her fault. That was a situation where it just happened. Here she is, and this was, I believe, the 99 Olympia. There was the year where they didn't have, almost had it, and she took a break for a couple of years.
Yeah,
this was a great look. I mean,
no, man, that was an awesome look for her. Oh, look at that.
She came back in 2002, much smaller. She was competing lightweight that year, but this was her body was amazing. I mean,
look at that. Ooh.
Yeah, it's just the evolution of women's bodybuilding.
It really has evolved.
Yeah, it's over in the last, I would say, it's been around for nearly 50 years, and Yeah, for my man
Yeah.
here. Yeah. We have here, this is shout to our man Charles, who says, "What's up, Josh?" You know, saying,
How's it going?
Yeah. Like I said, follow this sport as long as I have, especially as a young kid. Women like that really stand out, especially when you come from a black family. We see a woman
Hmm.
that shares your complexion or share your look or shares your background. You know, like I said, I'm a big fan of many of the white female bodybuilders like Corey and Denise Rashowski and them, but seeing people like Carla and Tracy and
The Heather Foster's,
Linda, yeah,
the man.
those are
Well, it's
amazing
the
women.
male Ash. The male Ash is the. I can go on. Michelle Beck.
Yeah, you can go on. One lady, as we know, we just speak about, just say to earlier, Linda Murray. Linda became the first Miss Olympia champion. I mean, actually not the first. Sorry.
I mean, the first. No, I thought you said the other one was the first.
Talk about Carla. She became the first one to hold the title the most.
Okay, gotcha.
She had, as you know, from 90 to 95, she was 6-time Miss Olympia. Now she lost the title in 96 to Kim Zaveski, and then she come back 5 years later and wins the title in 2002. And then goes for 8th title in 2003 and tried to go for a 9th in 2004, but lost to Iris Kaya. Here she is on stage early in her career. Another lady I don't recognize her. Some of these ladies, many ladies competed for a little while and after a while disappeared. She had a great tour. As you know, when she was doing the interview when she said that when she was competing, there wasn't much opportunities for her, especially after, because even when she became the North American champion, she didn't invited to the all the classes for the Miss International. I would say Miss International. I don't see all the classes so much, but the Miss International. Here she is. There's Carla here. This is 91. You have Beth Francis. You have Linda. You have Sandy Dow. Sherry Beatty, Sherry Marvel. Two ladies are gone. Rest in peace to Sherry Marvel and rest in peace to Sherry Beatty.
Yeah.
This was a look of that period and that time.
Man, it's bringing back memories.
In that time, Linda was a dominant champion. She her career span over the years. And this is back in he competed back in 2020. 2002.
2002.
She came back and she won the title. She beat
that epic comeback.
Yeah, she beat Judah Bergman Ford. Even now, even though she's no longer competing, she's still active. She's, she has a show. She had one point. She had, a couple of shows. She had Savannah, Norfolk, and now she has Atlanta. That's the only show she got left. She's been speaking out, especially what's going on with women's bodybuilding. And
that was a good interview, by the way.
Yeah, and even she's gonna be 64 years old.
It still looks young.
Yeah, can you believe it? This woman is in her
in her 60s. It still looks the same.
Yeah, she hasn't changed too much. Here she is. This is a little interview she did with the champ herself. It was the year that my girlfriend lost the title.
Andrea Shaw, 4 times Miss Olympia. We're like 7 weeks away from the Olympics? 7 weeks away. And Alina Popa, and we're at the Rising Phoenix. And so, how do you feel?
Well,
did not get that first place.
No, not this time.
Not this time, but you are 7 weeks out from the Olympia.
Yeah.
So tell us about, I'm sure you cannot wait to finish this interview so that you can get down to the drawing board.
Yeah.
Get you some snacks.
Yes. And I want to, sit with my my team and talk about, what it is.
Yeah. She knows the game. And like I said, I'm a fan of hers. Like I said, here she is with Michaela Aycock. As you know, that was the Atlanta Pro. I think it was first year that show. And then Michaela on that show. And even the story about Michaela, her car got broken into the day of the show.
Oh, that part I didn't know.
Yeah, yeah, and I say, she, I said, wow. I mean, it was just unfair what happened to her, but I think she was able to get her mother and her father bought some extra spare stuff for her because people tried to think it was,
Nice.
yeah. But again, this woman was just amazing. And she's still amazing to today. This is classic women's bodybuilding, you would say.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Right now, I'm going back and watching some old female bodybuilding, man. That's what I do sometimes.
Yeah, because like I say, I think we remember like how fighters like to watch old film and watch how they evolve over time.
Mm-hmm.
From one end to the other. We have here my man here, DJ Jeff coming through. He says, "Hey George, hey brother, how you doing?" Mhm. Anyway, is there somebody that you remember back in the day you want to speak on?
Oh man, there's so many. Lisa Lewis. I remember her just dancing around on that stage and doing her thing, flexing. Brings back a lot of memories every time I watch it back.
Lisa Lewis, I think she was probably one of the biggest women at the time.
She was like she was massive too.
She was, I know a lady I interviewed, I know, I think, Nancy mentioned to me that she was, pretty, Nancy Lewis I interviewed, mentioned she was kind of a big woman herself. I mean, she's still at least nearly about 5'10".
Oh, that's big for a woman.
And I think she at one point was one of the biggest women in the sport. Just a great look to her. Right here, I think she's like at least that tall. Here I pulled this up here from the Muscle Girls, the Girls with Muscle website. And here she is, the classic, lovely Miss Lisa Lewis. Here she's standing here with Iris Kyle. So,
nice.
She might be that tall. Unless Iris is wearing high heels or something. Probably more shoes.
Yeah, probably wearing heels.
Yeah, no, probably not heels. Maybe some high flats.
High flat.
And like I said, she just brought a certain level. I think she was the evolution of the sport. Here she is. I think this
she definitely changed the game of bodybuilding. I can tell you that now.
Yeah, you got you see, we have like there Andrew Boucher, who's also one time Miss Olympia herself, and just a great look to her. I think one thing was that if she improved her condition a little better, this was for her last competition was back in I think '98, and that was the time the year that the Olympia went overseas for women's bodybuilding. They went to I think Prague, and she looked all right, but I just I think she wasn't as tight like she was.
Yeah.
Here she is. She had a great amount of size. I mean, great mass. I think if even she was competing today, she could probably do well with his body.
Yeah. Can you imagine her today though if she was competing?
Yeah. Women like her were just extraordinary women.
Yeah. Extraordinary.
I remember she was on an episode, I believe, of Maury, where she was playing because she actually her real life job was she worked construction. She did that for a long time. And
you do have to stay in shape for construction, so that's one of the reasons.
Depending on what you're doing, like you digging ditches.
Yeah.
My brother, when he worked construction, he drive trucks and tractors and stuff like that. He drive the backhoes.
Yeah, I come from an athletic family too. My brother's he's an independent wrestler and he works at a factory. So
here's Lisa from '99. I believe that was her last year competing. She just kind of I've seen a picture of her some time ago. It was like something about a couple years ago. She looks still in good shape. I think she's originally from St. Louis. I think she run the gym. She's also another person not too much on social media. A lot of
a lot of them are social media savvy, so they're just private.
Yeah, but she had a great look to her, amazing muscle. Just if she worked on condition a little better, I think she would have done a lot better.
Man, she would have got a better placing. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, condition is very important, especially in women's bodybuilding. You can have the size, but if you're not as tight and as put together, you're not going to do as well as you should. So yeah, but that is one of the ladies that really made an impact on women's bodybuilding at that level. We got here, my man says, don't know if I'm going to join you today. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. He says also this, it says, people were talking about Yahweh Bova. What?
Your bet Bova.
Listen, well, I remember Yahweh, she.
Well, yeah, we'll just say she's doing other things right now.
She's doing other things now. But one thing about her, she served the country. She was in the military, Air Force, and she was one woman who kind of got into another evolution when it comes to the sport.
Yeah.
Where her look changed over the years. She has evolved herself. She did quite a few shows, and then she kind of dipped into something else.
Yeah, we just say that.
Yeah,
she didn't have a long bodybuilding career. She just had a short stint, then went on to do other things, if you will.
Yeah, and that's cool because you know what? Bodybuilding, you can only do so far with it.
Exactly.
You can compete for so long, and after a while, and
it takes a toll on you.
Yeah, because your body is you're going through a lot of training, you're working out. It can be a lot of stress physically, and then whatever if you're taking certain supplements that can really put a drain on you.
It can get you mentally too. So you want to.
This is from she had a great look too. One thing about her was she had I would say a short torso.
Yeah.
And and then she got later on the much larger implants. She had a moderate pair before, but later on in her career she went a little bigger. And I think it does. I say this.
Yeah, I remember she added more size.
Yeah, when you go that big, it takes away aesthetics of your physique.
Yeah.
It's beforehand.
I totally agree.
Beforehand, what she had before was all right, but now, you see it now. I think she also a while back she had some situations come up. I think she was dealing with some medical issues.
Yeah,
but she had a great look to her. She had a great smile. She had a great body. If she could stick with a few more years, maybe got a pro card, maybe. But again, she was doing other stuff outside of the sport, and that sometimes can hurt your placing. Sometimes judges are kind of funny about it. Here she is with Lisa Cross. Lisa Cross.
Lisa Cross. Yeah, I remember
stuff, but she's already Ivy Pro.
Yeah, she's a pro though.
Yeah, but maybe might see Lisa return. We never know. But she's an amazing lady. Yeah. We have here a comment from my man Jeff. He says, I'm not feeling myself today. That's all right. That's good.
It's all good. Keep your head up, brother.
Right. You have your good days and your bad days. But the evolution of women in the sport, be they black, be they white, but since I'm dedicated to black women, has grown and changed. Many ladies that have seen and follow have really made an impact on it. One lady I will say I had the pleasure of interviewing on my channel, and we're still talking now and then. I know she's busy. She's amazing. It's Nancy Lewis. And Nancy
Lewis.
When I got the chance to interview her, it was a highlight. It was like, just a highlight of
How about to ask you that? Was that one of your highlights?
To me, yes. Next to like interviewing Rhonda Lee and Sue Price, the chance to interview a lady who,
I mean, you
fought.
interviewed a bunch of amazing women, so
Yeah, and some of these ladies are legends. I just one lady I wanted to interview, but she passed. But it just happens like that. Oh, we
yeah.
got here. My man says, emotional. I need lady love. He says, I'm single, so am I. But Nancy had a great look to her. I think she's. I remember we did an interview. She said she was on the cusp when she was still competing because she stopped competing after
Yeah.
2012. And she said she was on the cusp on women's physique because she had a great look to her. Here she is, right here. You have,
Mhm.
Sarah. Sorry, Sarah. Not Sarah. I mean, Sharon. Sharon Renault. We have here Laura Creval. You have Dave Mugley. You have Andrew Schramm. Those ladies back in the day, and just amazing physique. Great muscle. She's very smart, intelligent woman too. She's really, as a competitor, she really has evolved in her career. Both in women's
Mhm.
bodybuilding and she's, even though she does not compete anymore, she still keeps in shape. She still trains. I mean, she was just, like I said, just
Yeah,
really.
she had great muscle density.
And one thing one thing I'm a big fan about her was that she never bit to will to silicone. She never got breast implants. Many of the ladies like Vicky Gates, Laura Creval, quite a few others, even Linda eventually been to it, but she stayed, I would say, pure. Honestly, yeah. I know some women get it because it
Yeah.
makes it more, makes you feel more feminine. But to me, it kind of
Yeah.
depends on how you do it. It might take away some of your aesthetics. This is one of my favorite ones. I remember I said we didn't even. I love it. Like, oh wow, yeah, hubba.
Whoa.
I mean, just a beautiful physique, great lines, great
Yeah.
definition. I mean, I sing the praises of the amazing Miss Nancy Lewis. So
Mm.
yeah. Oh, we got here, man. DJ Jeff. He says it's with the people that I live with. Okay, that's all right. Yeah, don't worry.
Okay. Okay.
Don't worry about it. You have anybody else you want to think of that really had an impact in the sport bodybuilding, especially for Black women?
Oh, Margie Martin, marvelous Margie.
Yeah, Margie Martin.
She had the side. She had the size. She had the muscle density, but she didn't really have the conditioning. But she still placed good.
Yeah, Margie was an amazing lady. She kept the game for a good while. I think, she last competed back
Was
in
2 years ago, 3 years ago, she competed,
at
and that
least
was it.
it was 2022, so like almost 4 years ago.
Yeah, 4 years
And
ago. I mean.
and she took a step back for personal reasons. I believe she was want to focus more for her life and her career because she mentioned that
Yeah, she got
bodybuilding,
other things going on.
bodybuilding wasn't really um, really as important to her anymore like it was before. I
Yeah,
think she wanted to win the Olympia. She was second runner up one year.
she was close.
Yeah, and then she kind of dropped off, and then the last Olympia, I think she was in the top four. And
Yeah,
again, she's an amazing lady. She's a beautiful woman. She also served our country. She was in the United
yep, she
States.
sure did.
She was in the United States in the Marine Corps, and she did for quite some time. Again, I'm a fan of Margie. Here he is. We're gonna pop into her
Mhm.
IG for a bit. She's a mother. I think one of her children just went to college just last year. She still looks in great shape. Here she is. I've
Well,
seen
well.
before. I might have to put adult advisory on this later. But she has a great look to her. Even for a woman who's almost 50. This is one of her Olympia performances back in, I believe that was in 2020.
Mhm.
She talked about how they say that it's like it's supposed to be some kind of, YouTube is blocking her, and I think something with the NPC IFBB, but still she's in great shape.
Yep,
even though she
she's in
doesn't
great
train
shape.
like, she, I don't know, maybe if she ever want to come back, but I think now she's done.
I think she's come to where she's at.
Yeah, she's running her businesses. I think she lives in Vegas, and this is a classic. Great.
Mm-hmm.
Her quads were just.
I mean, her quads really stand out.
I mean, only issue is the midsection because she had children and does, if you have I think she has a C-section scar, and sometimes just stretch marks can affect your abdominal look because quite a few
your abs.
Yeah, and you still have great abs at the bottom part of it.
Oh yeah, they still have great abs though.
Yeah, but she had great size. Condition was pretty good, just some issues here and there. Also, just amazing woman, great style, proud, strong woman, loving friend and mother. I think here she is. I think this, this is a very close friend of hers. It's Christmas Eve the last time, and very supportive, But she kind of, like I said again, she distanced herself from the world of bodybuilding, I will say right now with bodybuilding right now, we can use someone like Margie speaking up, maybe talking more about it. She's focused on things outside of the sport. That's one thing we need. We need our legends, and
we need our legends to come.
And also, Margie was, two-time Rise Phoenix champion. She won a title in 2016, back to back, and but. Whatever she's doing in her life, that's cool. We respect her.
Yeah.
We're a fan of her, Martin. Maybe in the future, she feels like she wants to maybe voice her opinion, maybe get her thoughts, or maybe even find a way to help women's bodybuilding thrive. We'd love to see her come back into the limelight. So anyway, but that's
and another woman. But another woman that really stands out to me is Tatiana Butler with her golden blonde hair, swaying around on stage.
She's one of those ladies that I would say she was in the game, but never got that step up to hit to. She had a great look to her. I think somebody.
I mean, she had more of a woman's physique look.
Yeah, I think somebody called her like she was kind of like they compared it to Venus to Serena Williams.
Yeah.
But I say if I can find anything on her, let's see. She also went by another name too.
Yeah, I'm looking on USA Muscle Woman. That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Taking some notes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got my notes here.
Yeah, but I remember her. She had a great look to her. Very great muscle, great femininity. I mean, one of the ladies that were in the game. One person I would say that's one of my personal favorites, and is Vicky Gates. And Vicky Gates has been Miss International. A couple times she's been the runner-up for the Miss Olympia title. I always felt like, I think to me in '99 when she competed, that should have been her Miss Olympia. Nothing against Corey Everson. To me, she was not Corey Everson. I mean Kim Zavetsky. To me, Kim was way bigger. People keep talking about how Irish changed the look of women's bodybuilding. Kim also had a part in it because when she competed last time in women's bodybuilding, she was huge. She wasn't as conditioned as she was the first time she beat Linda for the title. She was just huge.
Yeah.
But Vicky, to me, she had a great line to her, great femininity, great muscle. I mean, she was one of those women that really stand out. And also, she was very beautiful. I mean, she had here she is with the Iris Kyle. She had, both ladies were both lovely ladies. But, one person I would say I could see a comparison to right now is Mila Ash, being around the
Oh
eyes,
yeah,
in the face. As you
most
know,
definitely.
yeah, and she also was a mother. She had a daughter, and she was in a relationship at the then time, Mr. Olympia, Ronnie Coleman. And I think someone said they had a great
Oh
relationship.
yeah,
They
that's
both
right.
were, hmm?
I said, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Her
Yeah,
and
yeah, both were police officers in Texas. They worked out a train together. Eventually, like any relationship, they broke up. Some say they could have been a great power couple. You know, but things change, lives change, and to me, she had a great look to her. Here she is from I think it's at 99, Miss Olympia in the year they didn't almost have Miss Olympia. This is to me, this is the reason why I feel like she should have won because body physique wise, she was just,
mhm.
I think, in better condition than Kim Zavesky.
I mean, it was pretty close.
Yeah. But like I said again, politics and stuff like that happens in sport of bodybuilding. You know, but like I said, she was an amazing person. She I used to follow her on social media. She responded a few times to some of my comments, but
Oh,
I know
nice.
she not too much active on it now. Here she is.
Second at the Miss Olympia this year in October the 2nd. So, and I got second. Last year I got third. So I'm only one step away from being Miss Olympia. So I look forward to that moment too. Something that you enjoy doing. And I mean, it gives them something to do because a lot of the guys don't really have a job and it's kind of like day in and day out. And he has something to look forward to every day. And it takes up a lot of time considering when you're getting ready for a show, you have so much time in between. I placed second.
Yeah, because she's talking about the time
Yeah.
that's when her were still together. She had a beautiful voice. I know my friend Eunice knew her very well because they both live in Texas.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and just an amazing person.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well,
So I'm trying to think of a couple more ladies.
yeah, I'm trying. Ooh,
Uh,
Antoinette Thompson with an amazing set of abs. I remember her.
yeah, she great abs. I mean, I remember Antoinette Thompson. Uh, One lady, I think, to me, she had a great career also. Another lady who had a great career was Heather Foster. I remember Heather. She,
Oh yeah, Heather Foster.
she was originally from upstate New York. She competed for a good while,
Hmm.
and she kind of she had I remember it was a few years ago. She had a situation where it was a medical condition, and it kind of
Hmm.
put her out for a good while. I remember she was doing an interview. She said what it was, but it was something that happened with pregnant women, and she said she wasn't pregnant. But and she's outspoken about politics, and I still follow on social media. Um, she had a great look to her, great size, great muscle. Another lady probably, if she came in just a little tighter, or possibly even, I'm not saying Miss Olympia, but maybe want to miss a national title. But I
Hmm.
think she took a break for a good while. She qualified for Olympia a couple of times in her career, but it was always circumstances. How she looked, the build.
Man.
I mean, I remember this here. This is from it was from right here. These pictures here. I remember they were in the old Women's Physique World magazines. And she had a hair like that, and just shredded to the bone. You can see how
Look at
fast she
that.
was.
Shredded to the bone.
I mean, this is a classic look. She was just an amazing lady. Um, I, you know, just one of those women that were just the blueprint of what was coming in the future for bodybuilding. As the women were
Oh yeah, and
evolving.
it's here.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing probably because she was at next level that maybe hurt her a bit, in placings, who she is, along with Iris Kyle. Both these ladies are both lovely ladies. Great muscle they look to her. Here's this little video here also, where I think somebody's doing the taping, measuring her bicep. I mean, I can't tell how much it was. I think the guy, it was like,
I can't even see.
wait a minute, looks like it's 17.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. She had a great density, great muscle, great look to her, great style. She's a New Yorker,
Yeah, New York.
Yeah, she's Superwoman here. I think she's one of the ladies I will say I was a fan of. I mean, look here, this is her from the back. I mean, she's her family.
I mean, look at that back.
She's originally, I think, originally from Jamaica.
Okay.
Because she mentioned in a couple of interviews, she got a mean booty. I would say, just an amazing lady. Here she is here. This is, I think, was about in the, gotta be, really gonna cut them up. It's gotta take its time. If not, I'm just gonna move on from it. But just an amazing woman.
Yeah.
I think one of those that just didn't get enough credit. I feel like if she had done better, maybe placed better, she might have stayed a little longer, maybe even, I'm not saying Olympia status, but
Yeah.
But she's been to Olympia at least a couple of times. She worked quite a few shows,
Nice.
Yeah. And right here is this picture with her is one lady also. She was a phenom, and that is Kim Perez. I mean,
I was gonna say, hey, but you beat to the punch, but she was phenomenal. Ooh, she was like a real life superhero.
Kim was amazing. I mean, just huge, crazy muscles, crazy size. Just a great look to her. She lived in my home state of North Carolina.
Oh, nice.
I think my thoughts, honestly, when people are looking at me for the first time, I don't really pay attention to it unless someone makes a comment or a smile at me or something like that. But I have known to just walk in a straight line and not worry about what others are thinking but I've never had a rude comment. Everyone's always been nice to me and come up to me and congratulate me, let me know how hard work pays off. So when people look at me, I think I'm honored. I'm honored just because anytime you can get someone's attention really means a lot. So evidently I'm doing something right.
Does that ever intimidate you?
I'm never intimidated by anyone or by anything just because of what I do. I chose this field, and in order to be able to, I think, to embrace what I do, you have to be comfortable, and you really have to like what you do, and you have to, own it. So I try to own it.
That's right.
Yeah, I think that's what we need. Someone like her, someone like Kim, who really owns the fact they're a woman with muscle. To own, the fact that she has great personality. I think from Olympia.
She was just like, I chose this field and I'm going to own it. Wise words right there.
I think this is Tampa back in 2012 or 2013. And she competed for a long time. I mean, just crazy physique, great muscle. I mean, look
at that.
Yeah, just if she had the size, just need to bring proof in the legs.
She needs to work on her legs though.
Here she is. Someone really compared it to Andrea Shaw. I could see it.
No, you mean Andrea Shaw?
I can see it. I think one person I compared Kim to was to Nancy Lewis. She was like Nancy Lewis 2.0, you know.
Yeah,
But just amazing lady. I
they were almost
mean,
same size.
yeah, almost. But like I say, I think with with Kim, she just had bigger shoulders. Her traps were
Yeah.
huge. Again,
Mm-hmm.
it's always from brain condition. Here she is here. This is from just imagine if she was competing today, could she do women's
Can you
physique?
imagine? I think that's women's bodybuilding right there, buddy.
Yeah, I think that's the criteria. Maybe Kim K the blueprint, but just an amazing woman, appealing woman, great smile. I think we talked about how last time we talked about last week how what's somebody who could be the face, not just has personality. I think I'd see as Kim Perez.
Oh yeah, be the face.
We got here is PIJ coming through. He says this. He says Kim missed her size. She had great size. I mean,
Miss her side.
Yeah. I think another lady I am going to address, and we might as well address her because she's the one that I think everybody says changed the aspects of women's bodybuilding. And no doubt she did because she came in here. She became most dominant champion in women's bodybuilding history, the most titles than any man or woman when it came to Olympia, and that is
Drum roll, please. Yeah.
blah, 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 that
Yep.
is Iris Cow. Iris Cow came to the game. She brought a level of muscle. One thing is, it took her time because it takes a while for these ladies to get to that level. The training. Her first Olympia was in '99, and I don't think she even cracked the top 10. But then, her next couple Olympias, she climbed up a little bit, and then she finally got the qualification. She finally got the title when she beat, then 8-time Miss Olympia, Linda Murray. It's kind of like, she came in and she really,
she really put in that work.
Yeah, she made history. And that's the thing. This sport is about making this history, especially being a black woman in sport. But, and now even though she no longer competes, she still, helps and trains other competitors. Just amazing lady, not like say some people are a big fan of Iris, especially I think in the later years, because one thing was she was about making a living for herself. She, because bodybuilding again, there's not a lot of profit to it unless you are the few ones that get sponsored. And,
unless you got sponsors, that plays a big role.
Yeah, and she had great muscle density. I think she hit the criteria a bit. This is earlier in her career. I think this was like her second or third Olympia since she turned pro. There's always debate about her look. She wasn't feminine compared to some of the other women, but she had a great aesthetic. She had a great physique. She had great potential. She's took her a while to get there because bodybuilding is as I was told off my quite a few ladies, bodybuilding is not a race; it's a marathon, and you don't want to.
Most certainly is.
Here she is. This is from back. I think got to be either 2013 or 2014. And you look at this back, and I think the back can make or break it. Just as
well, some say the back can win championships.
Here she's giving an interview. I guess they don't have the sound to this.
Uh-oh. Probably playing copyrighted music in the background or something.
Yeah, probably. But as you know now, she's helping and coaching, training other competitors. She runs her own gym, and every time something for the Olympia, you know, here she is.
Now she's on social media.
Yeah, here she is with Renee Campbell, who was an amazing lady back in the day. You know, one of the top British women in bodybuilding. Just she's, even though people don't like her as much, she's really with the crown jewel. You know, and
What's the issue with her? If you don't,
you got to think about it again. She had 10 Olympia titles.
oh,
That's even more than Ronnie, more than Lee Haney. You know, those are the top guys. And still, you know, if she is, I think it was like about, I'm not sure, 2000 and might be 2000. But you know, she just came in, and it took a long time for her to get here. You know, she was like she was 30 at the time, 5'7". You know, tell me that she was a big girl. You know, 160, 5'6" and 160 stage. So no wonder she was, you know, her and I saw a picture with her and Lisa Lewis, that she was so slightly tall. She was like, that's pretty tall for a woman, you know, 5'7".
It is.
Yeah. That's the thing. She had to fill out, being that she was a taller woman, because generally most ladies who are at least 5'5", maybe a little lower, you know, 5'7" is, you know, good size. You know, the average man is like 5'7" to 5'8". But I gotta give her respect, you know. And again,
you gotta give her flowers, though.
And this is somebody that we most definitely need to give women's bodybuilding a fair chance. If we can get in, if I could do it, I would love to, you know, create a show and slap her name on it.
Man, that'd be nice. If I had the funds, I would do a show for women's bodybuilding.
Yeah. This was 2010. You know, I think this was the sixth title that year. You know, she only has one loss, that was to Yaxine King back in 2005. Yeah, she lost the title to, you know, Linda won the title 22 and 23, and she beat Linda in 2004. I mean, she lost the title to Yaxine in 2005. Then after that, she came in and stayed dominant. Here she is with another amazing young lady who I got to meet, Ashley Jones.
Nice.
You know, since we're on the subject on her, let's jump on.
Yeah, let's talk about the current. Yeah, let's talk about Ashley.
Ashley is an amazing young lady. I mean, I got to meet her when I went to Tampa, talked to her a little bit. I mean, you know, as you know, she was originally figure, and then around 2021 to women's physique, and she won her first qualification for Olympia in women's physique in 2021. But circumstances happened; she wasn't feeling well. She had to drop out of the show. Came back in next year, in 2022, and competed. She was, I think,
came back with a vengeance.
Wasn't in.
That's what happened.
She wasn't. Yeah, she wasn't in the top 10. I think she placed 11 or 12th that year. Then she took 2023 off and came back in 2024 and, you know, got her first Olympic qualification. You know, didn't do it, you know, she after that she won in New York. Then she did the Rise of Phoenix, where she was a top 3 at that show. And then she eventually, after, you know, taking, you know, coming back next year and cracking the top 3 again, but this time coming second to Andrea. Now then she did the Steve Carr show and won that show.
And won that show.
Involved. Yeah. I remember people thought she was gonna, people thought she was going to get as high, but again, she was just coming from the other division. She just had to come in tighter. Angela Yo was just in better condition. But the question is, could she beat Andrea? I like her. She had the mass. She had a good size, but Andrea has a certain look to her. And I think this is another person we need to push out in front. Really bring more attention to the sport. And she has a great look to her. She's also a coach. I've interviewed a couple of ladies that have been her clients. She's doing good work inside of bodybuilding, and we really
she sure is.
Yeah, we need more of her to step up.
We need women like her.
We got a comment from PIJ. It says, in 2014, in my opinion, Alina should have won the Olympia. I would agree with that.
Ooh.
Actually, she should win in 2015. And that's always been debate. That I think if Alina Popa had won that year in 2014, I think they wouldn't have canceled on Miss Olympia. I think they would have. They had. They like to the judges and thinking the judges could have voted for her, but the judges were going by the criteria. But they decided, and that's what the thing was that if Alina Popa, I met Alina Popa up close and personal. She's a lovely lady. She's very attractive. If Alina had won that year, I think they would have kept the Miss Olympia because they didn't have a woman that really represented what they want to see in women's bodybuilding.
Man, she definitely would have been my pick for 2014. But back on the subject at hand, Michelle Baker, man, she was phenomenal, in my opinion.
Yeah, she was pretty good. Yeah. One lady I'm going to mention here, and I'm a fan of hers. If I can pull up her social media, and that is she's the current Miss Olympia fitness champion. That is Michelle Messiah, and amazing lady. She's also a mother. She's a gymnast. Fashionista in the sport of bodybuilding. Now she is the current Miss Olympia champion, and being from the UK, that's something. Like I said again, so many amazing women from the UK that compete in bodybuilding. She's one of those. I appreciate, like I said, she's commented on some of my stuff I posted on social media, especially about her. She has a great look to her. As you know, she's probably shooting for another shot for the Olympia in 2020. I think she probably will get it, depending on the circumstances, how well she does.
I think she's a shoo-in for Chicago too, if I'm not. Yeah, I think she's doing Chicago.
I think she's undercover, but she's won the Arnold Schwarzenegger UK, and she's competed at Arnold Schwarzenegger again. Here she is.
And I just want to bring an improvement every single time. Put on an absolute performance that comes from the heart, and just show my passion and love for this sport.
Amazing lady. She has passion for this. She just recently got in the UK, got an award. She wins Michelle Messiah wins the women's fitness title. I watched it, because I've interviewed quite a few fitness competitors. A couple of ladies I interviewed was at that show. That was both their debut in Olympia. And here she is. Her little girl had a birthday a while back.
Did you interview one of the ladies from the at the Olympia that in the fitness division?
Yeah, I interviewed a couple of ladies that competed in the Olympia in fitness. Arla Femina and Jessica Zera, and they competed. Yeah, that was both their debuts last year. Her daughter's also aspiring to be like a mom. She's she's in gymnastics. Here she is.
as a category need to thank you.
Bottom of our heart,
From the
seriously,
bottom of
like,
our hearts.
Chicago Pro was my first international show.
Women's bodybuilding has the least amount of shows, in parentheses to the sides, it was like, with fitness. And I literally was reading the first part of that line. I was like, excuse me, no, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
And then
We
they
do.
added in the parentheses, and I was like, get your facts straight.
Before you start posting.
Yeah, okay. I hope I don't get struck for that. But she has amazing physique, great potential. Some say maybe she can probably do figures. Missy Trescott, who was the former Miss Fitness Olympia, she's doing figure. Could she do figure?
She sure can. She has the body shape for it.
Yeah, but like I said, fitness is the toughest division, I will say, especially for women, because you got to do a lot of stunts, moves, flips like that. And I think she's a lovely lady. I'm ashamed to say it.
Yeah, you can only do that for so long, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. What happened to Missy a few years ago?
We all know.
One of her fellow countrywomen is Rhea Gale. And Rhea,
she's the current.
The thing about Rhea that people don't know, about her, she used to be Olympic level diver for the UK. Here's both of them, both UK sisters representing. I think this is history. You had two women from the same country in winning the title that was vacated by the previous champions. This is a history moment. That's something that's really Black history. Now in the top women's divisions, you have Rhea, you have you have Michelle, you have Andrea. Maybe if either Sharonica can win a title, maybe Sharonica in it, but I don't know. They're never gonna. I feel like they're never gonna give her the opportunity.
Yeah.
And she's also a coach and a trainer. I was actually rooting for Lola Montez. No offense to Rhea, but she looks good. I think her physique compares to Sid Gillen.
Yeah, she fits the criteria too, so I can see why she won.
Yeah, and she lives in Texas now. She's married. Here she is.
Yep.
One thing I love most in this world are sunrises and sunsets. And the two states that I've been lucky enough to live in, Florida and Texas, have some of the most insane sunrises and sunsets that I've seen. So sometimes I like to find a spot, normally in a car park, or should I say parking lot, have insane sunsets. So I like to kind of come, sit, watch the sunset, think about things that I'm grateful for, and set intentions for the next day. This also counts as a speaking challenge. I am bringing those into 2026. Speaking more, getting more outside of my comfort zone. That's a really big goal of mine. So bringing these into 2026 and have stuff lined up. So if you can, sit and watch a sunrise or a sunset. Goosebumps.
That's really cool, take life one day at a time, and she, like I said, she has evolved as a competitor. This is earlier till I think here last year at Olympia, into this, and you can see the look has changed, and now she's the champion. One lady I'm here is, if I am going to talk about the 50th division, I got to talk about her with no choice. That is the former and still 8-time champion, Sid Gillen. And Sid was dominant. And when she, also about Sid is that her claim to fame was she was on the series Survivor years ago, when she was younger. And she did the series, and then she started competing in bodybuilding, and then she got a pro card. And once that long for, she then became Miss Olympia. She's Miss Olympia fitness champion from, as you know, she last competed 2024. That's 8 years. So you go back 2024 to since 2015, 2016. And to hold that title
I mean,
for 8 years.
Yeah, she's dominated.
Yeah. And also, you know, her and Andrea are running together. They run, it used to be her, Andrea, and Whitney Jones. Now it's her and Andrea. They run the Triple O Dynasty. Shout out to Andrea Wellington. She's told me she's going to do this show. A couple of ladies also know going to do the show. We hope we have a lot of bodies. The show would have both pro level for figure and a women's bodybuilding. You know, and she also runs her own company. You know, she runs her own company along with her family, and also promotes her own show in her home state of Georgia, where she is.
Stage, and you know what it's like to win. You won numerous big titles. What goes through your head when you're there and you're not at the center box?
Whenever, you know, you get the first look on stage, I got off from stage, I was like, I don't know what was that, but that was not me. I already knew. I was in my head. Like, I think Laura Lee in 2024 was Laura Lee with her heart, and like, I need to be there. So I kind of knew from there, like, I was not able to bounce back. During my posing routine, I started feeling embarrassed. These doubts like crossed my mind during my prep. Obviously, the noise around me is also loud. Like, you know, people giving me feedback throughout my prep, and I'm just like, I'm trying not to get inside my head here. That was just, you know, difficult for me to be on stage with that physique, like knowing that I haven't competed, and that's the second. Like, I'm going for my title, to retain my title. I looked good. Like, everybody was really hyped to see me because, like, you know, I looked very healthy and I was like in a very good place mentally. Like, everything felt really good, but the physique was not there.
What was it?
Yeah, I think that's really great. Laura Lee, who is the multi-Olympia, Miss Olympia bikini champion. And here she is. They did a seminar for some women's
they did dance routine
in Florida. She's a married woman.
It was getting down though.
They were getting down. I think they had a good time. I mean, you know, she's right now. She, along with a couple of ladies, are doing the Mr. Beast reality show. It's a game show.
Yeah.
You know, she's, like I said again, I don't know. Could Sid come back? I mean, it's been just a little over a year now since she left and she's retired. She could have broken.
I mean, she seems comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah. She could have surpassed Iris Kyle and come to the title. You know. Here some comments here. We hear our man here. KL DeWandre says, I like her routine on stage. She's supposed to in the next Power Ranger movie coming next year. All right, cool. You know. Also, he says this. He says, don't start claiming the UK chicks, George. Well, they're black. It doesn't matter if they're from the UK or not. It's about recognizing black. You got that right to claim them. They, you know, he just a shit starter. That's all you want to do. Start shit. You know? He says, I got to see Marcy Simmons in person. She looks like could be in the Masters of the Universe toy line, how muscular and thick she is. Well, I think I think they call her She-Hulk, which goes by that. Shout out to my man here. Jeffrey says, I'm better now. Okay, good. Also,
nice.
Here he says, you're not going to do wellness or bikini, or you are any focus on them. Well, the thing is, there's not a lot of wellness or bikini girls I really pay attention to, but there is one lady from bikini, and she did something I would say historical, and it was back last year, and I think it was at the Honor Classic, and that's Vina Auguste, and she became the first Black woman to win the bikini division at the Arnold Classic, and then cracking in the top 5. I think she's top 5 at the Olympia. You know, that is surprising. I mean, I've even, like I
Yeah,
said,
that's awesome.
I'm just always support my black sisters, but she did something that generally you wouldn't think of, because generally there are black women who do keep bikini, but many of them I don't pay too much attention to because I don't really pay attention to the vision. She did something historical. I even posted on my on my YouTube channel. She went on to the classic. You've never seen anybody that looks like, because like I said, I don't watch it on a classic, and I don't pay attention to body.
Yeah.
But like I said again, I'm always aware. And she's actually, I think her family is. I think that's the flag for. I think that's either the flag for Haiti. Or is that I think it's Haiti. Is it Haiti or is it Trinidad?
Yeah.
It's one of those.
Yeah, it's one of those.
And she made some history. I mean, you don't get to say. You got to think about it. This is something most people don't get that opportunity in their life. And to beat out a lot of ladies who are probably, top contenders. Here you go, get some more sisters there. I've interviewed a couple of competing competitors who are sisters like Kathy Vaughn and China Melton. I met Kathy Vaughn when I was